Hello everyone, this is Michael from h2x. Following on from our water system design in 10 minutes video, I thought I would repeat the process and do a ventilation system design on the same project. Given that that video was quite popular, we had a few likes, we had quite a few views, I thought I would just repeat that on this type of system design for your pleasure. Now, we're going to be starting with an existing model where we've already determined the fresh air load requirements, either based on air changes per hour or litres per second per person. And there is a separate video where I show that modelling process for the fresh air loads and also the heating and cooling loads, which can be a component of the ventilation system design workflow. There will also be a separate video detailing the steps I take to essentially keep this process fast on this design. Um, so yeah, we'll probably just show the modeling process without too much explanation on this video, just showing the flow and how I would go about putting the system together. And then we'll have a separate deep dive video, which will go into more detail on each of those individual steps and even run into some of the system settings parameters. So yeah, with that explained, I'll get started. Now we're going to aim to do this in under 10 minutes. So if I start the timer, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to ventilation supply in the design stage here. Now on the equipment tab up at the top, I'm going to select an AHU with MVHR, meaning that this will have all four of the outlet points available on an AHU at the moment. Now if I click onto that, I can go to the specs menu on the right hand side and I can change the depth to 2.5 meters. I can also change the width to make that much longer to represent a larger unit that might be used on a commercial project like this one. Now, if I click on my main duct tool here, that's going to allow me to begin my duct design from my outlet point on my AHU. And I can start that with a left click. Every time I do a left click, I can change height, such as entering the building here. I'm going to go up to 1.7 meters to run below the slab of the stairwell. I don't know what you call it, the first platform on the stairwell as it wraps around to go up to the first floor. I'm then going to do a second left click in our plant room here above our cold water tank, and I'm going to add a riser that will allow us to connect to the floor above. Now, before we go to the floor above, I'm going to connect a main duct to this and bring that up to a height of 3 meters and run that along this corridor here, like so. I'm actually going to drag this up a little bit because I want to fit in my extraction duct just below that. Now to add the load into each of the individual offices, I'm going to add a branch duct and I'm going to connect onto this elbow, change it into a T and add a branch going into this office to begin with. I'm then going to select a circle horizontal diffuser and place it down in that room, and you can see that that'll pick up the fresh air load, and every additional diffuser that I add, it will split the load equally between the number of diffusers that are in that room. It's also possible to override those diffusers to a manual flow rate or another denomination of the total load of the building. And that can be done by using this drop down menu here when you click on any of the diffusers. You can also add different types of dampers and valves. So if I had a volume control damper onto that duct run there, it's just a case of doing a left click to place it down. And then I can change anything like the zeta coefficient of that damper or any other elements that I added to the system design by just clicking onto them in the plan mode there. Now, if I do a right click and drag, I can select that entire setup and hit the copy and paste buttons at the bottom of the screen here and drag that over and across to the other office location. Now we'll know that it's connected up because we'll get a little flash there on the connecting duct. And if I let go, you can see that those ducts go from being transparent to fully opaque with little arrows indicating the flow direction. Now to add in the load for the cafe, I just need to do a left click here and then drag that over to the right. And then I'll draw a small section over to the left as well. Now you can see here that that's come through transparent because I didn't quite click on my main duct, but I can easily do a left click and drag that into place. I can select this extra bit of duct here and delete it, and I can go and add in my diffusers to the cafe area as well, just like so. Also add in some small diffusers either side of the reception area. trim any unnecessary bits on this level. Perfect. Now that is my supply drawn out for my bottom floor. Now if I do a right click and drag, I can select the entire layout here and I can copy and paste that on the level above. Now I've purposely not selected the items over to the left that connect into the riser because I want to adjust the position of this duct as it runs through the main corridor. So I'm just going to get rid of that connection duct there because we need to rearrange this anyway. And I'm then going to drag this duct up and into the corridor space here. I'm then going to redraw my main, left click here, left click into the riser, and then I'm going to redraw my branch connection over to this office space here. I'm going to add my VCD back onto that layout. Okay, now all that we need to do is redraw the branch connections into each of these offices, and that's just done by doing a left click to start here, bring that across into the office space there, adding our two diffusers, get rid of any excess that we don't need, adding our valves, and then copy and paste any common arrangements that can be used universally. We grab that from the diffuser, I can get them nice and in line. There we go. I can then drag this and the connection here over to here. Then we can grab this branch and drag that into this office space. Just a left click on there. Okay, now we're going to select a circle horizontal diffuser, just stamp that down in there. Probably only go for the one in that office space, 64 litres per second going through it. Right click and drag to get rid of the excess, volume control damper going into there as well. Now that's our supply run done. If we go down to the ground floor, we can now run our extract in a similar fashion. I probably won't explain the steps as much going through this one, but you can see here, again, setting the height running underneath the stir slab, bringing that over to our riser position in the tap plant room, adding our interlevel connecting riser, going over to our branch or again, our main connection tool here, bring that up to a higher height of 3.4 meters so that we don't clash within the 3D, causing any issues later on when we might take this into Revit or take it into those later, more detailed stages of design. And then we can select our circle horizontal diffusers, place them into the T-points here. I'm going to place 2 for every T-point. And then I'm going to select some circle or some slot vertical diffusers here to take out the extraction flow rate from this level. Okay, now if you wanted to alter the height of any of these grills, we can do left click, right click, select grill nodes on this level, and that will select them all together. But I don't want that to affect the ones down here, so I'm going to hold shift and let go of those. Do that again, left click, right click, select grill nodes on this level, hold shift, right click and drag, remove those ones, and then we'll bring those up to the same height as the duct at 3.4 meters. Okay, we now need to go up to level 1. Again, run that at the same or in the same direction as these here. You can see it's automatically picked up a 3.4 meter height. Run that against that wall there. Round back around like that. Go for a couple of plot verticals on this level. Then if we go back to our circle horizontals, we can place 2 per T-point. In this one here, I'm only going to place the 1 because we've got the much lower occupancy, much lower fresh air load requirement. Like so. Oh, we're getting close. Excellent. Now, that's our system design fully drawn out. Now, if we do, again, let's click on all three of these holding control this time. Would be a little bit more difficult to do the bulk select and remove. So what I'll do is just click on them all holding control, bring them up to 3.4. We can now run our results. I've already got the index node path selected, so you can see the index node path for the grill is shown here. It's currently running through this grill. I can show the flow rates, velocities, pressure drop rates, the calculated sizes through the ducts, and we can follow all of that back through to our unit where we can show our supply and extract fan duties. So we've got a flow rate and a pressure drop there associated with both of those index node path pressure losses. They can be selected off the filters menu on the top here, so we can turn them all off, we can turn them all on, because it gets quite heavy with them all on. So if we just went for the duct sizing, we can leave that to obviously view and review through the system. You also have the ability to turn on the 3D mode to detect any clashes. And with, again, 1 second to go, you can see we've got a fully calculated system design that we can show in 3D in connection with our other services, our cold water system design that we ran through on that video last week. Yeah, you can see exactly how those coordinate together. From this, we can generate full design reports. We can take out PDF drawing sets with the shown information on there. And as with the water system design, you go back in there, make any changes based upon a architect's revision. That will automatically recalculate all of those figures. If you'd like to see this process shown on one of your designs, feel free to head to our website linked in the description where you can book in a demonstration with our team. It might actually be myself running through the system with you, so I can answer any of your specific questions there as well. Again, thank you very much for watching this video. If you did find it useful, feel free to leave a like rating, it really helps. And please consider subscribing to the channel if you'd like to see more videos like this one. Again, I really appreciate it. Thank you for watching.